Now about Instagram. It's a visual platform, very trendy, very fashion, belongs to the young generation. And it said that we can reach our customers so easily through it. And it offers varieties of ways like reels, stories, posts, videos for you all to share your business in varieties of ways. But the key question is, do you convert those posts to sales? How many of you are successful in doing that? Otherwise, we are going to invest time and we might develop a branding, but we may not be able to convert to sales if we don't know the key secrets in the tip. Alice Golding, she's an Instagram marketing strategist, joining here to give us 5 top tips. I know it's not 5 minutes, you can't master Instagram, but mastering is not the aim of our meetings. We take tips back home, and let's listen to Alice. Alice, over to you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. So yeah, exactly as Logie said, the whole point of this 5-minute run through is to show you hopefully 5 tips, not so much for growing your Instagram, but for converting those followers that you've already got into paying clients. Because I often get asked questions about things like reels or hashtags, which are great for audience growth and audience building, but they're not necessarily going to help you when it comes to turning your followers into clients. So I'm going to share my Instagram platform with you as I talk you through it. There we go. Hopefully you can all see my screen. So tip number 1 I'm going to share with you is all about your Instagram name. So on Instagram, it can be quite confusing because you've got 2 names effectively. You've got your username. So you can see mine at the top is @AliceGolding. It's just my name because I build myself as a sort of personal brand. It's just me in my business. So this would usually either be your name or your business or brand name. However, under my profile picture, you can see I've also got this bold bit, which says Alice, Instagram coach and social media manager. Now, the reason I've got those sort of keywords or sort of almost like a job title there is because this bit on Instagram is searchable. So the rest of your bio isn't necessarily searchable. However, people can search for those words on Instagram and my profile will come up. So one of the important takeaways from this is to remember that Instagram is not simply a social media network. It's also a visual search engine. So it can work exactly like something like Google. People can search for, in this case, social media manager, and they would find my profile along with, a list of other ones who are also using those keywords in that name section there. So my top tip for you, first of all, would be to check what keywords you're using in your name, if any. So you simply go to edit your profile, check the name section and add them in there. But think about what your clients will actually be searching for. It might not necessarily be what you would call yourself, but think about, what are their problems? What things would they be typing in and looking for if they were looking for the solution that you can provide them? So that's the first top tip. Now, the next one, again, is more about when it comes to converting your clients or these people who have found you on Instagram. And we're going to look at your link in your bio. So on Instagram, you only have one clickable link, which you can see here just above my edit profile button. You can put links in your Instagram stories, and we'll come on to that in a second. But otherwise, you're going to drive everybody back to this link. So it's really important that you keep this up to date and current. Now, you can either use a direct link. So if you're selling a particular product or service at the moment and you're sort of really focused on that, then you can use the direct link to that product or service. Or you can use something like I'm using. You might have heard of something like Linktree, where it's basically a page and you've got lots of buttons on it that can take people off to different places. Now, I really like that particularly on something like Instagram, because when people find you on Instagram, they're not always going to be ready to buy from you. Some of them might want to download a freebie and get to know you better, or you might have, a YouTube channel, or, other resources that you can help them with. You might have an option to book a call with you. So the benefit of having something like that with different options is that you can meet people where they're at. So you can, serve those people who've just found you on Instagram, but also those people who've been following you for a while and are now ready to make a purchase from you. The one thing I would warn you about if you're going to use something like a Linktree is you should never have sort of more than maximum 5 options on that Linktree at any one time. If you've got lots of options, you've had to scroll through and read all these different options, they're going to get confused, they're going to drop off, they're going to be overwhelmed, and they're not going to click through and take the next step. So make sure, again, even if you're using something like a Linktree, don't just fill it with every single link you got. Keep it current and keep it up to date. Now, the other thing you can do on your profile is utilize your highlights. So these are the circles that you can see on your profile here. Now, I often get asked, how do I make highlights? Or people have made highlights and they're like, I did that accidentally. I can't remember how I did it. So your highlights are basically Instagram stories, which you've chosen to save. So normally Instagram stories will last 24 hours and they disappear. So they're really nice for creating, off the cuff, perhaps more personal content to really connect with your audience. However, you have got the option to save them as highlights when you post them, and then they will appear in these little circles on your profile. Now, I like to recommend that you have these 3 that I've got here. So again, don't overwhelm people and fill your profile with loads and loads of highlights. We're going to stick to 3. So you've got 1 about you and your business. So again, having that personal touch and building a connection so people get to know, like, and trust you so they're ready to buy from you. 1 about your products or services. So think of it almost like a little mini catalogue. People can flick through really quickly and get an overview of all the different things that you can offer them. And then a testimonials or reviews one. Again, they can flick through really quickly right at the top of your profile and see all the positive things people are saying about you and your business. Tip number 4. So we talked about Instagram stories and how they're a great way to connect with your ideal clients. One of the reasons why Instagram stories are so great is because they come up right at the very top of our home screen. So when we open Instagram, the first thing people see are all these Instagram stories. Now, the other thing I'm going to try and encourage you to do on Instagram is to go live. Now, we often get told about doing live videos on other platforms like Facebook, but you can do live video on Instagram as well. And the benefit of going live on Instagram is that for the whole time that you are live and talking on Instagram, your little story circle jumps right to the very front of the row. So whenever somebody opens their app and you are live, for that whole time, you are the first thing that they are going to see on Instagram. So it's a really great way, again, of getting visible and getting people who are following you to see you. And obviously, if they can see you talking and they can connect with you and you're sharing value, again, that's really going to boost those conversions. And the final thing is engagement. And I think it's one of the things people love to hate or they love to forget to do. And so we all talk about how much engagement that we get on our content, but the important thing to remember is to go out there and actually engage with other people on Instagram. You don't have to spend hours doing it. You could spend as little as 10 minutes a day. But what I would recommend that you do is find other people who do similar things to you in your niche and have a look at the people who are commenting and interacting with their posts on Instagram and start interacting with them as well so that you get more visible and you get more seen. And what will happen is that people will come to your profile and they will start interacting with your content. And the more engagement that you get on your content, the more it'll get pushed out by Instagram and the more people overall who get to see it. So if you take anything away from this, it's actually to start going onto Instagram itself and engaging. Somebody's actually just gone live there, so you can see what I meant. So for the whole time that this person is live on Instagram, their little circle is right at the top there. So they're the first thing that I see when I open up the app. So it's a really good tactic to use to regularly show up live on Instagram. Fab. So those are my 5 tips for selling more on Instagram. I will share my details in the chat box and some links to some other resources that I've got. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you. Let's give a big
Thank
applause to Alice. Fantastic tip, except I couldn't follow a lot because of this audio issue I've got. Thank you very much, Alice. Alice talk will be available as a video in the YouTube, our local online, and also will be featured in the newsletter. Alice, you'll be here for a little while, won't you?
Yes, I'll be hanging around. Yeah.
So if any of you have questions, I'm sure all of you have many doubts on Instagram. Instagram is a topic that we our hubs discuss a lot, and any key queries that you might have, please feel free to ask Alice. She'll be happy to answer you all. Thank you, Alice, once again for joining us. Let's give a big applause to Alice one more time. Thank you, Alice.